The heavy pedestalization of human beings has to stop. So I made a video a few days ago about social media, and since that was performing well, I decided to add something additional, even though I mentioned it briefly, and that is pedestalizing other people. People will not show you their real lives. People put on an act, so they show you what you want to see. It's like if you look at celebrities, have you ever seen a moment where they're vulnerable? And if they are, for how long? Because the problem that we have as a society is we lack authenticity, we lack utmost honesty. And the truth is, there is a huge fatal thing wrong with this. Yes, fatal. Because people now depend on what they see online. Because of the heavy use of filters, people normalize filters as what people actually look like. So let me be completely out there and just say filters, to me, are just insecurity. Because there's people preaching the idea of natural beauty, a moisturizer that's supposed to help your skin. Why the flip do you have a filter on? Why don't you just show the product for what it actually is? Because there is always going to be a form of exaggeration. People can say really dumb things like body goals and put an idea in people's minds and just reinforce the stereotypical conventional attractive when it changes pretty much every single week. There is no such thing as someone who is genuinely attractive because it changes. People used to be thin and then they wanted to be curvy and then back to being thin. Our body is not something that we just play around with. It's something that preserves us. We should love and value it. And people are just making it like seem like it's just profitable. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. People don't focus on what's real. And I'll tell you what the problem with this is. You perceive it as normal. So if you see someone with this kind of body, if you see someone with this kind of makeup, you might even tell yourself, I want it. Then a new trend happens. What happens then? You keep moving on from one thing to another. And I've read stories and articles online about people who got surgery and they regretted it because they followed a trend and then they realized they can't go back to their former beauty anymore. Why are humans doing this, first of all? It's because you see them in a way that is superior than other humans. So I use celebrities as an example because they have a lot of attention and media. But the truth is, they once again are just normal people like us, except some of us cannot admit that because they say, oh my goodness, I just met this person. Fair enough, they are talented. However, does that make them less human? No. People still perish, people still go beneath the ground. Yes, I'm saying it. And people understand that all it takes is one thing to crack the dam. One crack in the dam is all it takes. One illness can change things. One financial crisis can change things. One marriage, one divorce, all of these things. And people are not genuinely happy when they're in the spotlight or when their life is consistently being exposed. You could see a celebrity and then you find out they break up with their partner the next day. It's so common, but this is exactly what people distract themselves with. Instead of working on your goals, people just, focus, oh crap, people just focus on other people's lives. People don't even care about you. And that's the thing. So I'm not saying to completely avoid these people. Actually, to an extent, yeah, because it's a waste of time. But if there's someone who you support and there's someone who has supported you, let's say, it's fine to show appreciation, but get a life respectfully, because some people need to be told this 1,000 different times. People actually think that's normal. If people see famous people out there or people out there just generally showing their face, they use a filter because everyone's going to comment, where's the filter? And then people are going to comment, oh, you used a filter. No one's going to be happy. So don't use a damn filter. And if you use a filter for jokes and stuff, fair enough. But yeah, guys, I just thought that people needed to hear this because we're human beings ourselves. We don't need to depend on other human beings. And it is a problem because too many of us are thinking, oh, this is what I should be doing. I should be getting a yacht. I should be getting a private jet. Calm down. You don't need to. Relax. You don't even know if those people are happy. And people often forget we are all mortals. That person can have stuff, but like I said, all it takes is one crack in the dam. They're human beings, they have feelings, they never show you. There's always a behind the scenes, what it took for them to get there. People never look at that. People instead go, wow, they achieved so and so, they do this, they're amazing. But they never think about the behind the scenes, the sacrifices they took. And no matter how controversial or bad that person is, they took some kind of sacrifice. So that's something we've got to acknowledge. Even celebrities nowadays, they all are the same to me. Literally, same BS, same drama. I just don't bother anymore. It used to be cool, like, oh, you used to hear about so and so. Now it's just old news. It's so boring. There's no FOMO because there's always something going on. And even if you do hear about the latest gossip or whatever, what does that benefit you? You realize it's just a flatline waste of time. Just do something that helps your goals. And I feel like some people needed this because I've just been seeing it everywhere that people, oh, celebrity worship is probably the worst thing I've ever seen. One of the worst things I've ever seen. But yeah, don't pedestalize people. See them as inspiration. If they're that great, you can be that great too. They started from somewhere. There's always a behind the scenes. People suffer. People have their own hardships. Even people who look like they have it together, everyone has something going on that they don't tell people. And that's the thing. So whenever you see these people online, just remember it's a freaking filter. Unless you can tell it's not a filter. A lot of the times they do. People are so insecure that they use filters. There's a problem with using one and there's a problem without using one. So why don't you just altogether avoid using it? I mean, why don't you stop using it altogether? Instead of deceiving people, because you have an entire audience who looks up to you, especially if you're in the spotlight and people watch you, for example. Hi. You want to be yourself. You want to be a good influence to your audience. I always think about the people watching my videos. First of all, I think, what the heck? Because I'm thinking, okay, I sound crazy. My microphone is not brilliant. I'm saying random things. But my main intention, and I'm not trying to glaze myself, okay? But we do need to have some kind of self-promo, don't mind me. But my main intention is to be authentic. And I honestly think I've captured that well. I'm still trying my best to do more, but obviously I'm not going to expose everything on the internet because I'm not a crash out weirdo. But anyway, I hope this helps and you guys can understand that you don't need to follow empty trends. You don't need to follow random people, especially people who don't even know you exist. So yeah, be someone incredible for yourself and don't be like those people who just doom scroll and see other people's lives. Why can't you be on that screen? And even if you don't want to be, focus on your goals. Because while someone else is chasing after someone else's comment section, you've been getting goals. And then those people are going to be asking, oh crap, I should have done this, shouldn't I? Yep. Anyway, this is a short video, but I thought it was still something I should mention. I know it's a little bit controversial, but I still think that people need to hear it. Anyway. Peace. Oops. Peace. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.